How are you guys? Let me get this all set up to live chat. Okay. How do I look? How do I sound? I know we're a week late or behind on the live stream. We were supposed to do it last weekend, but I wasn't feeling too well, and the Super Bowl and everything going on, so we pushed it back a week. No big deal. You guys just tuning in, my trail soda for this live stream is the Joy Bus Wow Wheat from Four Peaks. Cognac, a tall boy. How do I look? I guess hear me and see me. How is the audio? We'll crack this bad boy open, get started. It will be a 1 hour live stream today. You can't really see, but I'm live streaming outside. And we're going to be, the sunset is for 6:15. So figured from 5 to 6, we'll live stream real quick and then call it a stream. Hello. We got the KC koozie also. I want to know what you guys have worked on lately. I'll give you guys an update on everything I have done to the Jeep and the truck since the last video. And then I got an idea for a 3-wheeler build. So, what are you guys drinking? And have you guys done anything to your rigs since the last live stream, a little bit over a month ago? Make sure the chat is good. All right, cool. I sound good. Everything looks fine. Awesome. Yeah, we'll hold today's live stream to about an hour. But we're going to be going over the Jeep, the truck, and a 3-wheeler build. Billy, working on a full resto mod on my 96 XJ. Nice, man. So what, you're just completely, what are you doing? Are you lifting it, keeping it stock suspension, completely restoring the interior? Like, to what extent are you doing that? Are you just going to completely make it look like how it rolled off the showroom floor back in 96? So you can see we got the, behind me is our shipping container. We put out the little warning signs on the side. Natalie likes changing them all the time. That is 14 explosives and then poison. And then there's a 6 below the poison, whatever that means. Full gut and going with the 3-inch lift, more of an overland build. Nice. So keeping it just capable enough to hit some forest roads and get to those remote camping spots. That's awesome, dude. I mean, that's kind of, after doing the 4.5-inch lift and building it up and turning ours into a wheeler, I really like just building it to be capable enough to get you to those camping spots that not everybody can get to. Because I'll be honest with you guys, building it up as like a rock crawler, kind of beats it up a little bit too much to my liking. Like, I like the rock sliders and the rear bumper and front bumper, but that last wheeling trip out to Elvis out in Florence really beat up the Jeep. Like, it bent up the rock slider enough where I can't even open the back door, so I have to bend those down. So I just want it to be an extremely capable camping rig is where I'm at right now with it. I don't want it to be too beat up, so I have issues trying to drive home or whatnot. Working on my 99 XJ, installed some auxiliary battery to run a diesel heater for a overlanding rig. That's awesome, man. How much power, like what kind of battery did you throw in there? Just like a yellow top or a red top? Like, because I would like to pick up, you know, one of those Amazon Chinese diesel heaters for our, you know, snow camping setup or just winter camping. And I don't know if I would be able to run the diesel heater and a fridge off of the auxiliary battery underneath the hood. I don't want to completely kill it, but I guess with it being extremely cold outside enough to run a diesel heater, that I guess you won't need to really worry about the fridge. So I guess I kind of answered it myself. Broke a piston skirt after only 348,000 miles. Oh, that's it, dude. Only 348,000. Yeah, I'm a little bit over 200 on the Jeep, and I'm thinking about a motor. And I mean, I can easily do, you know, 250, 260, 300. 200 amp hour batteries, 1 lithium, 1 AGM. Nice. Nice. I thought about doing the same thing, get the DC to DC, or what is it, DC to DC charger, so I can toss a lithium battery underneath the hood of the Jeep where the oh gosh, where the yellow top Optima is, and thinking about doing that and then do a DC to DC. But I wish the DC to DC from like Renogy I wish it was waterproof, so then I can just tuck it underneath the hood next to the battery. So I might have to loop wires from like the engine bay or from my starter battery from where it charges, run from that to a DC to DC in the cab, and then from there back out of the cab into a you know, like a solar, like 100 amp hour battery. And I think a 100 amp hour battery would be more than enough for like the overland trips that we do. Especially, we like to hit the trail every day, you know, just stay at a spot each night. So, you know, I doubt you're gonna pull enough power to kill that 100 amp hour battery overnight unless you're doing some wild stuff. So I think just a single 100 amp hour battery, and then just take the yellow top auxiliary battery that we have and make that the new starter battery. No solar at the moment, but it will be the next edition. DC to DC is necessary. Oh, for sure. Yeah, I've been looking into that. I know I followed a company on Instagram that has a pretty good it's a really good price. They sell the AGM or the lithium batteries through Amazon, and they're I think 100 amp hour batteries, but they have the built-in monitor on them. So you just scroll through it, just tap on the button, and it tells you the status of the battery. And I think it's self-heating too. So if it's too cold out, it'll keep itself warm enough so it doesn't get too cold and start damaging the battery. So I thought about going that route, but the one downside is, being in Arizona, I don't want to go, have that battery sitting underneath the hood of my Jeep when it's 110 out, 115 outside. And especially if I'm driving during the summer in the Jeep, I don't know if that kind of heat would damage it and, just kill the battery life, or, make the battery swell or just damage it in any way. So I guess I would have to contact the company and kind of see about that. But I do like the idea of having like a DC to DC charger with a dedicated solar, house battery. So I could still hook up my alligator clips to my charge controller that goes to my panel. So all of that's still mobile, but it's a legit solar battery there. Maybe I'll do a video on that. I mean, that'd be the third auxiliary battery solar type video I've done for the channel. My first one was a yellow top and a box behind the seat. Then the second one was relocating that to the back of to underneath the hood when I did the cowl intake. And then I guess the next version would be a legit solar type lithium battery right underneath the hood. And I think I want to do some type of setup like that as I'm building out the truck also, But you know, maybe have a rack set up and then do like the toolbox in the bed, have like 1 or 2 100 amp-hour batteries, since that won't be a rock crawler whatsoever. It'd just be forest roads, and kind of like how the Jeep is, but in a, you know, bigger platform. Kind of have it set up for like the long trips or road trips or whatnot. I did so a little update on the Jeep. I did do a steering box on it. Let me get this fly out of here. I did a brand new steering, well, brand used reman steering box on the Jeep yesterday. After about the past 2 or 3 wheeling trips, it had so much slop in it that it kind of felt scary on the highway to drive it. So luckily O'Reilly's, I have just one of their reman boxes with a lifetime warranty. So whenever it's, you know, screwed up or has too much play in it, I go down there, they don't ask me any questions, I exchange it, and I just plug and play back into the Jeep. So I did that. Had to bleed the system, you know, get all the air bubbles out of it. And the Jeep's right behind the camera, so I'm just looking at it, trying to get an idea. My bad, you guys. I really need to just double check everything after that last wheeling trip. Just tighten all the bolts, do some paint marker on them. And I do have a big gouge out of the passenger front tire on the Jeep, so I need to replace that with the spare, because I'm not too comfortable with the gouge out of the sidewall, just for, you know, longer highway trips or whatnot. And then I just need to double check everything, grease all the drive shafts, check all the fluids, retorque stuff if it needs it. Just kind of do some TLC to the Jeep, just so I'm comfortable with it, but get it to that point where you know, if we want to take a trip in it, we could just jump in and go. I don't have any second thoughts in my head or anything. So it's more of a maintenance type thing. And if you guys are interested, I could do a video on that too. Kind of just what I do for maintenance on it before trips or whatnot. It's not too extensive, but it's enough to make me feel comfortable before we go, you know, way back in the wilderness or whatever. Then another video that we're going to be doing is me and Natalie and Bean are going snow camping. It's supposed to snow next weekend, so we're just going to head up north for the night, camp out in the Jeep, get some snow, and just have an awesome little overnight trip. I think that'd be real fun for the channel, and just stuff like that. I know I haven't been making as many videos lately, but I've just been kind of busy with work and all that. So, you know, I want to get back into that, making camping videos, just like small, you know, rig videos, kind of what we do to get ready for trips and whatnot. I mean, if you guys are open to it, I wouldn't mind making some videos too, like explaining maybe my thoughts or theories behind certain things, like I've done with the Jeep also, like our gear selection or whatnot. Other than the Jeep, the truck, little update, or my updates on the truck, I need to do a update video going over everything I've done since the I think it was the dual tanks or the radiator video, whatever my last video was. I want to go over all of the updates of everything I've done to the truck. A lot of the stuff I've done to the truck since then hasn't really been video worthy or worth it, just because it's really small things. Like I did some wire upgrades underneath the hood with the battery cables, the positive negative cables. I want to say I did just the stereo system inside of it. I've mounted a new low profile bed toolbox in the bed of the truck, and I've done last weekend I did the valve covers intake, or valve cover gaskets, intake gasket, and just stuff like that. It wasn't too much, wasn't too crazy, so I don't know. I think I will do, my bad, a full update on everything I've done to the truck. Parts for that truck are actually expensive, like a lot more expensive than the Jeep, like suspension wise, just to get the quality stuff, like the quality, you know, really nice leaf springs, shocks, and then it comes with all of the mounts for the suspension that you have to buy. So just all of the suspension mounts are like $1,000 alone. So it's, that project for the truck is going to take a while, but I'm just going to slowly accumulate stuff and go through it like that. But before I go all out with the lift and 1 tons and, you know, 37s or 39s or whatever I'm going with and going too crazy, I just want to get it extremely reliable. You know, no leaks, just be able to start it up first, you know, turn of the key, and make it reliable enough so me and Natalie and Bean can take it out on trips without having any second thoughts. So that's pretty much my point, where I'm at now on it, is just make it as reliable as possible, and then from there start upgrading it, because I don't want it to look really cool but be broken down. So I figured just make it as reliable as possible, then make it cool and capable. Okay. Have you ever dealt with the rear door not opening with one press of the handle button? I have to usually fast press the door open to actually open this on 99 XJ. I may replace the latch. Yeah, mine are the same way. I have to, you know, press it and sometimes jiggle the door for the latch to let go. But I think what it is for me is, since being in Arizona and it's so dusty, I just have to grease and lube, like the latch, everything inside the door. I would say your best bet is, if unless stuff is worn out and damaged, I would just pull the door panel off and just grease and lube everything, and it would make it a lot easier to open. At least that's my experience, because the back doors on either side are a pain to open, that it's less hassle to just reach in from the front door and undo the latch from inside than try to undo the door handles from the outside. And then I don't know if you guys have had this issue. I've been battling it on the Jeep for a while now. Excuse me. I'm looking at the Jeep currently. The rear hatch, no matter what I do, it rattles. Oh, no problem, man. I actually have to do that to the Jeep currently. Once I get the rock slider bent down enough to me so I can open the back door, I have to pull the door panels, and I'm just going to get in there with a nitrile glove and just grab some grease out of a tube and just hit everything I can. And then I'm going to throw, like, I don't even know, like lithium spray or something like that on the mechanism itself when you open the door. Just spray the crap out of it. And then I even, the push button itself, I try to push it up a little bit and take like the straw of whatever you're using and stick it in there and just spray it. And that would, I think that would make a huge difference, and that's what makes a difference to me. But with the back hatch, with the back hatch, it rattles no matter what. Like the 2 little bumpers coming off the back of the Jeep that press against the hatch, I'll screw them out a good ways and they won't rattle for that trip. But immediately after, like the next trip, the hatch will be rattling. So I actually have an idea for a video. They sell these like like hood latch pins, where you bolt the pins down and then it has like a push button that you would mount to like the hood of the vehicle. So then you can press the push button to undo it from like the latch pins. I thought about doing that to the back of the Jeep. Just put each of the push buttons on the back hatch and then have it line up with the stud or the pin on the inside that's bolted. So then it'll have the push button down below, but also the push buttons on the sides. So I think that should get rid of the rattling, because no matter what I've done, I've even on the little bumpers screwed them out all the way, did blue Loctite, screwed them in, and they sat for like a week. And after that week, went on a trip, and by the end of the trip, the hatch was still rattling. So I want to double check the hardware and the hinges that fasten the hatch to the Jeep. And then I think I want to do those push buttons. Maybe even spend a little extra money and get the ones that lock. And then I could disable the lock that's inside the hatch, the push button lock. Just completely disable the push button, but leave it there. And then just have the 2 push buttons on the sides that use like a barrel key or whatever. So then I won't get any rattling, and it'll be twice as protected, I guess. I think I have some more plans for the truck. I know Overland Expo West is coming up quick. It is right around the end of May. So I'm kind of up in the air on what vehicle I want to take to Overland Expo. I know the Jeep is fully built up for, for overlanding and like a longer trip like that, even though we'd just be camped in a campground pretty much. But it does have the, auxiliary battery and everything like that, and we can mount the tent to the roof. So part of me wants to take the Jeep to Overland Expo, but I think it would be awesome to take the truck too. Get it reliable enough and squared away enough to take on a trip like that. But the only issue is like auxiliary power, like what I would want to do to be able to run the fridge. Because I know with the truck, we won't have an auxiliary battery underneath the hood yet. And I don't really want to just try to live out of a cooler for like those 4 days we'll be at Overland Expo. So I'm not entirely sure what we'll do. Part of me wants to get like a power bank. And I have been talking to a company about possibly reviewing a power bank. So if they're open to sending us one that has a high enough capacity to run the fridge, that might be an option, so we can take the truck to Overland Expo. But if not, I think we'll have to take the Jeep. Billy, striker on the rear hatch has some adjustment as well. Make him flip the striker around as well if it's grooved. Possibly. I'll take a look at that. That could be a good idea. I haven't really pulled off the plastic trim going over that whole hatch setup. I need to do that just to double check it. Maybe I need to lube it also, just like with the rear door handles. EJ, what's up, man? How are you? I've been good, dude. Just working on the Jeep, taking trips and all that. Should be 2mm behind the rear bumper. Oh, I know what you mean, like the stud that comes out of the bottom. Yeah, I had to adjust that and move that around a little bit when I did the rear bumper. I know those can get loose, so yeah, I guess that makes sense with the latch securing to that. That could make it rattle back and forth, so that does make sense. I should check that out. I know that, and those little bumpers that I talked about coming off the back, I think I'll red Loctite those also. So I'll check the striker, make sure that's adjusted right. So I'll probably loosen the striker, but leave the hatch secured to it, and then push it all the way in. Oh, Bean. Nat brought Bean out. Oh, say hi. That's us, dude. No, look. Right here. Yeah, that's you. Yeah. All right, Bean says hi. All right, we'll let this little guy go. Yeah, I'll need to undo those bolts and then or loosen them, and then I'll push the hatch in, and then maybe I'll hit it with some red Loctite while holding it and tighten those bolts down for the striker, and then I could tighten those two bumpers also. Yeah, that'd be cool, man. Maybe we go camping or something, EJ. That would be awesome. Oh, watch out, buddy. Had to thread lock mine. Yeah. Bean sniffing everything. Okay. So with the truck, want to get it ready for Overland Expo. I think we'll do a bed rack for it and toss the tent on there if we do take that. If not, we'll be taking the Jeep. If you do see us at Overland Expo, say hi. Even at camp or whatnot, say hi. We will have patches for you guys. I have a lot of patches I want to give away. So just come on up, say hi if you are going. We'll give you one. No issues. Other than that, working on the truck. The Jeep's at a pretty decent point, and we're going camping out of it soon in the snow. Be the first time this year so far. I want to talk about the three-wheeler a little bit. We got the three-wheeler years and years ago. My brother gave it to me. It's not in the greatest shape. It does need some work. It does need some work to it. I need like a new seat, new plastics. I got the motor rebuilt a while ago. I haven't even been able to put a tank of gas through it yet. So the motor's still needs broken in. It needs some studs, some wheel studs pressed out and new ones pressed in. It needs new back tires, just like little stuff like that. It sounds like a lot I need to do, but a lot of the stuff for those Honda three-wheelers are cheap. So I was just gonna figure out everything I need and pick it up. So then we have a new toy on our trips, especially when we start camping out of the truck. So I kind of want to build that up. It's just been a yard ornament for us for years now. So I want to get that thing squared away so we can take it on trips. And I kind of want to do a trip just out of that. What I have in mind is I see like some guys on YouTube, Beans walking by, I see guys on YouTube that they'll do like 100 or 200 mile trip just with like their motorcycle. Or what's up, dude? Another guy, he's actually doing 1,000 miles out of a mini Jeep, driving all around Utah. So it's 1,000 miles in the state of Utah. He's doing a series on that. It's kind of got me thinking that maybe I could do something not to that scale, but something slightly smaller out of just the three-wheeler. I would need to do a lot of work to it, but I think the platform itself would be great. I would just need to build like a rack setup, and then for filming it, I would just use like GoPro style cameras and like my phone and just little cameras like that. But I think it'd be awesome, like have Natalie drop me off way up north, and then I have like a week to just use forest roads to get home. Honestly, I have been looking at routes already, and I kind of have a rough idea of the routes that I'll take. And I think I have to maybe drive on or cross a highway like twice. And on one of them, I could just drive on the side of the road. It's not even really a highway. It's just like a road over by my house that I would have to drive on the side of for like maybe a mile, maybe 2 miles. So it wouldn't be too bad to do that. But I figured Natalie could drop me off way up north, like well over 100 miles like north, outside Flagstaff or way up there. And I would have to drive to the East Valley of Arizona just using forest roads. So let me know what you guys think of that. I don't know, it's kind of just like a test for myself. And, you know, if I have any issues or if it just becomes too much to get the three-wheeler to that point, then maybe I'll do it in something else. It's been a long time since I went camping, like high school days. When and where is this expo? It's up in Flagstaff in May. I think it's right around the end of May. Need any help wrenching on the ATC? Let me know. I used to work on motorcycles and ATVs and UTVs. Nice, man. I appreciate that. I know a lot of the work. I have a guy that you know, can do. He specializes in that also, so he'll do it extremely cheap for me. Just like mounting, dismounting tires, replacing the wheel studs. He rebuilt the motor for me, so it's just like a lot of little stuff like that. And then the rest of the stuff, like the plastics and the tank and everything like that, I can easily replace. But I don't know, it's kind of like I wanted to build a rack for the back of it, and then a rack for between the front forks to just hold, like, I don't know, maybe a 5-gallon fuel can somewhere on the three-wheeler. And then I need a spot to put like my camera gear, and then I'm gonna pack extremely light when it comes to the food and like camping gear. I'll probably be camping out of a hammock with like a small sleeping bag, and just have like 1 or 2 changes of clothes, since, you know, kind of be roughing it, and then just have a, you know, a little bit more than a basic toolkit, figure out everything that a three-wheeler would need tool wise to be able to set that thing up, or to be able to work on it. Make sure before I go I have brand new tires, because I know driving, you know, probably 150, 200 miles off road, it's going to wear down those tires. And then I just got to make sure I have the riding gear on, to make sure I have a helmet, and then all the camera setups and all that. So it's it would turn out to be a really awesome video series. Then if it takes off and it's popular with you guys, and, you know, it gets a lot of views, maybe I'll do other routes. Maybe I could go from the southernmost part of Arizona and try to get all the way to Arizona-Utah border just on a three-wheeler. Just like stuff like that. Then it will be parts of the channel too, as part of our adventures and whatnot. Tim, what's up, man? Doesn't matter if you're late. Are you having any trail sodas or anything? I'm having the Joy Bus Wow Wheat from Four Peaks Brewery. And then let me know if you're going to Overland Expo, Tim. I think that'd be fun. I should have the SS safe enough to drive in the mountains. And I could weld too. I think you know that. Yeah. Yeah, I got a pretty good welder setup too. I mean, it's just, I'm going to build a small rack for it. So it's just going to be like enough for a gas can, like the camera gear, and then I'm going to have a backpack setup for like maybe food and the camping gear. And then a small rack on the front of it. I don't know. I don't want to make it too heavy on the back, because if it's too heavy on the back, then you know, it's a three-wheeler. I don't want it too heavy on the back. I want to kind of even out the weight. Three-wheelers are dumb, dude. You're crazy, man. This is it's a 1983 Honda 200X. So it's a year newer than my truck. So what is it, 39 years old? 39-year-old three-wheeler. I'm going to get it good enough to go on a trip from northern Arizona down to the area where I live, and try to do it in a week. I think I'd be able to, using only forest roads. When's Overland Expo? May. Yeah, I think it's right around the end of May. I don't remember. I still got to pick up my ticket, but me and Natalie are going to be camping. We're going to leave Bean at home, or have her parents watch Bean, or my parents, because I don't really want to take care of the dog for 4 days like that, camping in a campground. he barks at everything anyways, so I think it would keep a lot of people up all night with being there in the campground like that. You should get a good padded bag. The suspension isn't too good on them. Yeah, this one, I'm going to get the shocks rebuilt too. As the front fork shocks, and then it has just the single shock in the rear. I'm going to get those rebuilt, and then it only runs like 3 psi in the front tire and like 2 psi, 2.5 psi in the rear tires, so I think it'd be pretty good. I mean, it's not extremely fast, so I'm just going to air down the tires a little bit more, and then, you know, just probably go like 15-20 miles an hour. I don't want to, you know, snap my collarbone riding it and take a tumble off of it. So I should be able to do the trip, I think, in 2-3 days at the most. And the way I have it planned too, there will be like fuel stops and stuff like that. So I guess the biggest issue would be just food. And I mean, that shouldn't be too bad. Do mountain houses, you know, whatever gas station I stop at, buy some food there. Like, shouldn't be a big deal. And then if I run into any issues, a lot of the areas I'll be stopping, there's towns nearby. So I can be able to, you know, if I need any help, be able to MacGyver my way into getting that 3-wheeler going again. May 19th through the 21st. All right. Yeah, it's me and Natalie, we're going to get tickets in the next month or so. And then we're going to get there extremely early on the day it opens, so we get a really good camp spot. I heard if you're able to get in there fast enough, there is a spot by the horse stables where you can hook up an extension cord. So I might try to plan on doing that, so I could just plug the fridge in and I don't have to worry about chasing solar panels around for 3-4 days. It's kind of iffy though, so I'm gonna plan for having solar set up and everything there just in case. But if we're able to get close enough, I'm gonna bring an extension cord to plug it into the stables so we can I don't have to worry about the fridge. Keep the trail sodas cold the whole time while we're there. Plan on me going Friday, maybe in question because I'm taking off a week and a half already in June to drive back to Seattle. Oh man. I mean, just let me know what's up, dude. I know I think it opens on a Thursday, so we might head up there like butt crack of dawn Thursday and just get up there and camp for the weekend. Maybe leave on Sunday so we beat all the traffic coming down to the valley. I've broken my collarbone that way before. Yeah, that's I mean, that's why they were outlawed in the U.S. or made illegal. But I don't know. I want to get the right riding gear for it. I don't want to go too crazy because I mean it's a 3-wheeler and I'm not going extremely fast. So I just want to get it as set up as possible. And I'm planning on doing all of this this trip. If I'm gonna do it, I want to do it maybe right after Overland Expo, just because it'll be nice and cool, or it'll be somewhat cool down in the valley still, and then it'll still be beautiful up north. So that's kind of my plan. I won't be in, I'm thinking only the last day of the trip I'm going to be in lower elevation where it's hot enough, so I should be fine. But the whole thing is air cooled, so I have to kind of keep it I have to keep that in mind. I don't want to get the motor too hot and blowing it up, one of the first trips I take it on. Excuse me. So it's something to keep in mind. But yeah, I'm excited for it. It's not going to be on the level of the guy doing the 1,000 miles in the mini Jeep through Utah, but it'll be some kind of sort of comparable. and I really want to show off, you know, everything I'll do. I'll do like a couple videos, or 2, 3, 4 videos leading up to the trip, just for the preparation of the 3-wheeler, all the parts I'm buying, how it's going to look, you know, the test driving, all the rack setup, and just get it really squared away for this trip. And then I want to make it so all of the stuff that I put on it for the trip can easily be taken off. So when me and Natalie go camping, we could just toss it in the bed of the truck and go camping with it, and not have all of that stuff on it. Other than that, any updates on the Jeep? I'm kind of at a good point on the Jeep at the moment. The only thing I really want for it is a winch. A winch would be cool, just for that peace of mind for recovery, and then just all the maintenance to it. I just want to go through it maintenance-wise, make sure it's good for the trip me and Natalie are going to take, and then a lot of the rock crawling trips and all that, I won't go too crazy with. I just want it to be an extremely capable overlander, and be able to do some rock crawling trails, but not to the point of beating up. I'm trying to buy a trailer this next week, late 70s Toyota truck bed trailer with a nice canopy on it and a big storage box on the front. The idea is be able to just hook and book on a Friday. That's a good idea, man. Are you going to tow that with the Jeep or the truck? I know the Jeep you'd be able to handle it no problem, especially if you kept it light. That was kind of the idea between our trailer setup that I was building, but the Jeep is so gutless anyways that I don't really want to attempt to tow a trailer and just put more stress on the Jeep. So I kind of moved away from the Jeep trailer, and then I ended up buying a truck that's more gutless than the Jeep, so I'm still kind of SOL on that. But I figured the truck having the bed, me and Natalie can build the truck to however we want, where we're extremely comfortable taking it off-road or camping out of it. That the same Jeep you had in 2015? Yeah, April 9th or 14th of this year. I've had it for 9 years. Yeah, I bought it in 2014. April 14th of 2014. What are you guys having trail soda wise? Let me know. Be able to tow with either, but don't tell the Jeep. But it's probably getting sold in the next couple months. It's just too much money sitting around in one place. That's true, man. I don't blame you there. I mean, if you don't use it or take it camping as much to justify all of the money you've put into it, I mean, sell it, put it towards other things, you know, another rig that you can still take camping and be able to do other stuff with. I mean, if I haven't, you know, I've had the Jeep almost 9 years and I've put all this time and money into it. I've thought about selling it a couple times, but it's a member of the family now. So I don't think I would be able to sell it. So for now, I'll probably tow the trailer with me with either the Jeep or the Pilot, then sell the Jeep and just pull it with the Pilot. Good call. I mean, if you're just taking it camping, dude, that Pilot, especially how you wanted to lift it, you'd be able to easily take it anywhere you want. I mean, an old 70s Toyota truck bed with, you know, just that minimal amount of gear on it, you'd be able to easily take it wherever you want. Remember when you had the cow? Yeah, I regret selling the cow. I had a 78 square body, three on the tree with the straight 6. It had, you know, primer and black paint job, so it looked like a cow. I had to sell, or I sold that to get the Cherokee. So sold that, put some money together, got the Cherokee. Hey, I don't blame you. Tea, no alcohol for me too much anymore. Yeah, man, I don't really have too many beers. I just have a beer every occasionally. At some point, I'll get a 5K Jeep, maybe XJ. Throw up. Jesus. For the harder stuff, for now, I'm fine sticking to the easy stuff. That's true, man. I mean, I see beater XJs all over Facebook Marketplace. I mean, 5-6 grand all day long. They're already lifted. They already have a little bit of work. You could just... They're reliable enough to drive out there, beat the crap out of it, and take back home. And you'd easily be able to get one for 5-6 grand, no problem. What's funny was there's a guy that was living over by me selling his Cherokee. It was like 6-inch lift, already had 1-ton steering, had lockers front and rear geared. He was selling it for like $2,500 because he had some health issues. The only thing he needed was a head gasket, but I mean, get that done real quick, no big deal. And I mean, it was probably about a $5,000 to $7,000 Jeep how it sat, but it needed the head gasket and he needed it gone. So I thought about picking that one up. That would have been a cool little project. Buy it for Natalie and have that as our wheeler. When I bought my TJ, I wanted a CJ7, but I couldn't finance it, so I got a TJ. Then when I moved here, I got the JKU for the AC, but ultimately, I just don't really like the newer stuff. That's how I am, man. My newest vehicle is that Chevy Sonic, and I mean, I literally just take that to work and back to make my money to dump into the Jeep and the truck. So that's pretty much, yeah, I want to own vehicles old enough where I can work on it without any issues. You don't need all kinds of specialty tools and all that garbage like that to be able to work on an XJ and an old square body. So that's pretty much where I'm at. I think the old stuff is way cooler than any of the new stuff, any of the new technology. Even though you might not have the greatest AC or might not ride as smooth, or you don't have CarPlay or whatnot, but it's you'll still be able to fix it in your front yard without paying thousands of dollars to a dealership. So I'll probably end up in an old CJ7 or a YJ and convert the front end to CJ7. Nice. I know I would really like a YJ. Get a YJ, do the spring flip so it's not a spring under, and I think it'd be cool to have one, even if it's stock, just a bone stock YJ, have the 4.0 in it, and just have it like, kind of look like the I think the Jeeps in what was it? It was in the Jurassic Park movie, that YJ. Not the Bronco or the whatever it was, just the YJ. If you don't tell, I don't like square headlights. I mean, I got round headlights on the Cherokee. The only thing I got square headlights on is the square body, but I don't really want to attempt to convert those to round headlights. I do have more plans for the truck too as summer is coming up. I want to loop the trans cooler out of the radiator, and to an external cooler, and then same thing with the engine oil. I want to run it into the cooler first to get it really cooled down, because I'm going to do the same coolers same cooler that is on the Jeep for the transmission, because it worked so well for the Jeep. I figured running it on the truck would be more than enough. So I want to run the fluid into the cooler first, and then have it loop out of the cooler into the radiator, and then from the radiator back into the motor or the transmission. I like that thought for just keeping engine temps and transmission temps pretty stable. So I don't know, that's definitely a plan for the truck before summer, and then I want to attempt to get a vintage air system for it so the truck has AC, so me and Natalie are not dying when going camping out of the truck. Chris bought a Tundra. I don't know if I ever told you that. We went out camping by White Tanks a couple weeks ago, but he pretty much just wheeled it out there, let it sit in one spot all weekend. Oh yeah, I guess if it's a 2018 with no scratches already on it, I don't blame him. I got a buddy, he got a 2018 GMC, I think with the 6.6 diesel in it. 6.6, yeah. The truck's immaculate. He doesn't want to take it camping, but he always wants to go camping with us. And I don't blame the guy. I don't want to bring that truck out there and, accidentally run a tree branch or a bush along the side of it. And, the truck is extremely clean. So he is actually in the market for, I think, an XJ or another rig just to help save the truck. So I don't blame Chris with that. I'm trying to think what else. I know along with the truck build, I want to possibly get a hard shell tent for the truck. I just like the look of a bed rack with like a low profile tent. We're going to keep our trailhead tent for the Jeep for like overnighters and trips like that. But I know once I build the truck up to a good point, because I don't want to dump all my money onto a rooftop tent when I still have suspension and axles and stuff like that for the truck. So I want to get the truck really, really squared away and then get a tent for it. So with the rack on the back of the truck, I want to be able to have it where I could put the trailhead tent or the hard shell on there. So we could have the trailhead on there while the truck's getting built. And then when the truck's built enough and I can afford a hard shell, toss that on there. But I don't really want to overload the truck. I just want to keep it as like a basic build, just like the Jeep, but in a truck form. Have keep the toolbox in the bed, but have a bed rack with the rooftop tent, and then be able to plop down the tailgate and the fridge is right there, and then just have like tools, camping gear, stuff like that in the toolbox of the truck, but also have like our auxiliary battery setup in the toolbox of the truck also. So, I could have the auxiliary battery set up, like spare fluids, tools, and then the rest of it would be like our camping gear. And then have a bed rack with the fridge on a slide. And then just nothing too crazy in the cab, since there's really no room as it is. Just keep a couple of things behind the seat that we don't want in the toolbox. And just kind of roll like that. Maybe put since solar panels fold up real small, like our Devos panel, have that behind the seat of the truck and just store some small stuff, compact stuff back there, and then have, all of our other bare minimum stuff in the bed of the truck or in the toolbox. WJs are comfy and wheel good. God, I can't talk. I used to have one of those and I'd totally buy another one. Yeah, having coil springs all around, like you would have the JK suspension, but with, a fully enclosed cab and leather seats and power seats and That wouldn't be a bad setup. I mean, I know Iron Rock makes a awesome suspension kit for that for a WJ. The only thing I don't like about them is they have the aluminum Dana 44 in the rear. So you would have to swap that just for something different. You don't want to bash that off a rock and crack it or anything. So I think I would go with like just a steel Dana 44 or an 8.8. Swap it over to an 8.8, keep the Dana 30 in the front, and you should be good. Yeah, I know next weekend, that's what me and Natalie are doing, the snow camping trip. I hope it snows where we're going, because it's either rain down in the valley and then snow up north. So I'm hoping we could get to a spot where we wake up to snow or more snow. And then I think when we get back, I'm going to start filming. I'm going to film the update video on the truck for you guys. And then if I have the time, I'm going to go through the update video or the planning video for the three-wheeler build. So that's kind of my idea for the next upcoming videos. Snow camping trip, truck build update. I'll go over the axle setup. Just all kinds of stuff like that with the truck. And then I'll kind of lay out the Jeep, and I got flies and bugs all around me since I'm outside. Update on the three-wheeler and the build plans for that. I've been around up north a bit for work lately. Pacing is hit or miss. Flagstaff type elevation is covered in snow. We're planning on maybe going, because I know everything on the rim above Payson and all the way up to Flagstaff, the second any snow touches the ground, they lock the forest roads. They just run chains and locks through all of the gates. But a kind of hidden treasure is like really East Valley, like by Young. A lot of that is open forest roads where they don't even have gates to lock up. So you can sneak off back there and camp in the snow without really anybody messing with you, and really nobody takes that way. So I think that's kind of the route we're going to take. Or we just might go camp up at one of our go-to spots up in the Four Peaks Mountains, where I think we'll get rain, but it's a really beautiful area. And when it rains and the snow melt comes off the Four Peaks, a little river starts running. Yes, exactly. Forest Lakes is like just north of Young. Yeah, exactly. I was thinking kind of south of Young. You know, we just take the way up past Roosevelt and start looping up that road. But a lot of that south of Young still gets snow. And so we don't have to drive the 25, 30 miles just to hit Young. We could just camp a little south of it and still have the Forest Lakes elevation. But with needing to drive nearly as far as going to Forest Lakes. So I have an idea for the live stream. I know I said it's 59 minutes in. We're only going to go an hour, but I think I'm going to give you guys a little sneak peek of the three-wheeler. I think I'll be able to flip the camera around so you guys could see out of the front-facing camera. And I'll pound this trail soda. Then we will take a walk over to where the three-wheeler is and just take a couple minutes going over the three-wheeler. And maybe before that, I'll just show off the axles of the truck and maybe the truck itself. When it went out to Sholo last week, it was like no snow. Forest Lakes was full of snow, and then just east of there was no snow again. So hopefully you hit that perfect spot south of Young. Exactly, Tim. I'm going to pound this trail soda. Then we'll take a quick walk. Maybe I'll do this for future live streams if you guys like this. Kind of give you guys a walk around the yard to show off the rigs and everything. Man, that is gross when it's warm. Ugh. I'll drink some water real quick. All right, it's gonna get a little bumpy. I'm gonna flip the camera around. As you can see, I wasn't lying, the Jeep was right there. We want to see the Chevy Sonic. Get out of here with that, Tim. Hold on, let me disconnect the little my wireless mic. See, there was the Jeep. I'll walk you guys around. There's my super awesome setup for the live stream, you know, only the best production quality. Here's Natalie's little Miata. We're gonna start working on that thing soon too. Just getting it reliable as a daily. Walking around the shipping container. And here is the axles. Let me take this cover off. I took the old cover for the rooftop tent to cover the axles because I don't want the rain getting to them too much. But there is a 14 bolt full floater on the right, and then a low pinion Dana 60 front axle. I got to convert that axle to single wheel and then, you know, completely rebuild it. New brakes, new disc brakes for the 14 bolt. Do that, do gears, whatnot, maybe a truss. Then, all right, moving over here. It's gonna look really crappy. But here's the truck. I just have it parked right here because I was working on it. But there is the truck in all of its glory. And then let's go over here real quick, over to the three-wheeler. Oh, I'll show off Tim since he's a huge Chevy fan, Chevy Sonic fan. Here's the Sonic. Ooh. Natalie's car. She's got an awesome Mustang. Then here's this little nugget. 1983 Honda 200X. It needs a new pull string, new seat, new plastics. I want to do a desert style tank so it holds an extra gallon of gas. New gas cap so it doesn't leak. New back tires, has a new front tire. As you could see, that front tire is in awesome shape. And then I need new wheel studs, new back tires. I want to do a new rear brake. I already said pull string for the starter, rebuild the shocks. Just pretty much go through it. I want a new reservoir for the brakes, for the foot brake right there. New brake pads. All of it sounds like a lot, but it's only, you know, probably be $500-600 for everything I want to do to this thing. And then I just want to do some riding trips on it. Do some riding trips, get it broken in, and then take it on the big camping trip or overland trip. It does have a 6-pack rack on the rear. I'm going to pull that off. I don't really want to add to that since it's stock. I don't want to destroy, you know, that original piece, so I'll build my own rack for it. But I figured with the new plastics, I want the rack to completely be around the rear of it so I can put a gas can and, you know, other stuff. Then maybe here on the front, I want to replace this headlight with an LED pod and then do some type of storage setup for the front of it, pretty much. But that's kind of where I'm at with the three-wheeler. I'll do a video on it going more in depth, and then all the parts I'll pick up for that thing. But we'll head back over to the Jeep and then call it a live stream. All right, there's the truck again. This probably looks like an earthquake. I'm sorry, you guys. There's the truck, the Jeep, and the Miata. All right. Perfect. Okay, after it looks like a earthquake, turn it around. I'm gonna call it a live stream. It's been 65 minutes. I'm glad we were able to talk. I know it was a week late, but I really appreciate everybody that has tuned in. Stay tuned for the next video, and I'll see you guys on the next video or live stream. Bye, you guys.